Congratulations, everyone! You may have experienced a dominoes effect only if you are consistent doing what you have intended in the first week. That only first step that is required to take to begin your journey towards success, and that is the hardest one. But once you promise yourself and take that step and forces that first domino to fall, the other dominoes ahead of success start falling themselves. It's like when you start exploring something and you really want to achieve that, the ways of success themselves start opening for you. And we can't imagine that happiness that we feel after that achievement. So, before going forward, write down a comment if one of my lessons that you have watched up until now help you. I'd love to see your feedback and will give your comment a heart. So, up until now, we have learned so many things, from basic widgets to advanced widgets to state management solutions. And also, we have built a complete notes app from scratch using Firebase for store database. And this week will be full of building UIs in Flutter. This includes a complete food app, LinkedIn clone mobile version, LinkedIn clone web version with fully responsive design, and also some other exercises of UI. And also at the end of the week, we will touch some intricate things like how Flutter rendering works under the hood. And lastly, we will understand the very important principles of software development that are solid principles. All that and more in the upcoming weeks. Let's begin the week 3. Welcome to the part 1 of building a food prime app. So before getting started with coding, let's see the demo of the application. So currently on the emulator, we have the onboarding screen. So let's restart this and see also display screen of the food prime app. So that's how our food prime app splash screen looks like, and let's get started with the demo. That is the first onboarding of the food prime app, that is the second one, the third one. And in the third one, we also have a button of a get started. So when this is clicked, this will take us to the credential page where we can create our account from here. We can check this box, uncheck this box, and again we can go to the login page. We can also check and uncheck this remember me, and also then we can go for login. And this is just a UI, so we can directly navigate between pages as there is no backend stuff. Next, this is our premium page if someone wants to buy the trial of our food prime app. So this is the page of displaying the details of purchasing the food prime app trial version. So we can go for skip, and this is how our home page of food delivery app or food prime app looks like. So we have this bottom navigation bar of home and cart and also my account. So let's go to the home. First of all, let's explore this home. So we have these 2 categories for now, and yes, you can have many categories. So let's start exploring the grocery and fruits category. Let's go inside, and we have the grocery and food category. Just like this, we have the fruits, vegetables, and kitchen, and are displayed in a grid view. So we have these 3 categories inside the grocery and fruits, and we can also search for the foods. Let's say we want to search for the apples. Yes, we got the apples in here in search. So when you click these apples, this will take you to this checkout page where you can increase the quantity, decrease the quantity, and also you can click the add to cart. So you will see a snack bar of item added in cart, but there is nothing happen in the background. This is just a snack bar and just a UI stuff. So you can go back and also go back, and here is the food category. Let's go inside, and we have the food, the fast food. Here we have the burger category inside the one category, and here we have the pizza, sandwich, and the 2 horizontal scrollable views. And here you can also go for search, and let's say search for a burger. So we have 3 burgers. So when we click this, we can do the same thing, increase the quantity, decrease the quantity, and add to cart. And then you can go back and back, and that was all about the home page that we are going to build for our food prime app. Next, we have the cart. From cart, we have the 2 items added in our cart, which is not working for now, but yes, if you want to take this to production app, this will of course work. So from here you can check out your items that are added in the cart, and here will be your details of payment such as your card number, expiration date, and security code. You can order now, and after the order has been successful, you will see this dialog box, order has been successful. You can continue shopping, and then there you go. Your payment has successfully completed and your order has successfully completed. You can go back and then you can go for the account. So this is our profile page where you can build an edit profile page. Also for this, for now I don't have one, so you can create it if you want to take this application to the production. From here you can change the languages, the help, and also the theme, but these are not included yet in this food app because this is just UI, not the fully functional production app. So that is what are included in this food delivery app, and we are going to build this from scratch. So let's get started creating this Food Prime app. So I have this starter project for my Food Prime app, and yes, you can get this code from the GitHub from the starter branch in my GitHub repository. So you will get the starter project and you can getting started with creating the Food Prime app. So what we have in here is a simple run app to run our app, a status widget, our material primary color which accepts the color code, and a map of type integer and the color. This is the shade of the color and this is the actual color, but I directly put the same color in all of the shadings. And yes, you can do to shade the colors a little bit, like in 50 shade you can put a darker color, and then in the 101 you can do it a little bit lighter than the 51, and in the 200 you can do more lighter than the 101, and so on. So like that, for all of the shades you can create the shading for your material primary swatch. And we have put this primary swatch in here as this requires a material color. So this primary swatch means almost all of the widgets will have this orange color, like our app bar, if we create one, will be orange, our elevated buttons, our floating action buttons, our fill buttons, all of that widgets will have by default this color that we have specified. And then we also have the show check debug mode banner, which is set to false, which is a little banner in the top right corner of the screen. We have just set it to false to not see that. This is the title, and in the home we have initially called this main screen. So currently in our app we have the assets. So after downloading this starter project from my GitHub starter branch, so you will have these assets in your project. And then we have this data. This data is a simple list of objects that we will retrieve in our list that you have seen in the categories when you were exploring the home page in the demo of the app. So this is the food category list, vegetables category list, kitchen category list, and this is the home category 2, burger special category, burger popular and special, and all of that for the pizza. And this is the list of objects for the search Food Prime, so that we can use this list and search for every fruit, vegetables, kitchen, burger, and all of that stuff. So this is the data, a simple hard-coded data that we will retrieve in our application and use it just for making the UI more clear. And this data in your production app will come from the database. So this is the data, and next we have the theme, and inside the style ... we have the colors that we will be using throughout our application. So we are not going to write the color start, the specific color that we are choosing, but we have already the colors selected in here, and we can directly use these constants and not creating the other ones. And in the screens we have a simple main screen, which is simply doing nothing but centering a text widget called main screen. And in the pubspec.yaml file we have Flutter awesome icons in here to use the font awesome icons. This is the font awesome icon, sorry, not the Flutter awesome icons. It's font awesome Flutter to access the font awesome icons in your Flutter application. And this is Flutter SVG for dealing with the SVG images. So let's get started with creating the splash screen of our Food Prime app. So our Food Prime app splash screen looks something like this. So let's start creating it by creating a directory in the screens. We will name it splash. Inside this we will create a new .file, splash screen. That's it. We are not yet adding it in the Git. Let's don't ask again and cancel. So here we are going to have a stateful widget and its name will be splash screen. Let's import the Flutter material dart and this splash screen is going to accept a widget child, and let's pass it in the constructor and make it required. And in the init stat of the splash screen, we will do inside future.delayed, we will delay for the duration milliseconds 3000, and when it's completed, so in the body we will do to navigator.push and remove until to also remove the page from the stack and directly navigate to a new page. In the new route we will do material page route, and in the builder we can pass the context and arrow function and the page that we want to navigate. So for now, let's say we will navigate to our main screen and put also semicolon in here, and that's it. And let's make this constant and also this one. That's it. Now when the splash screen is called after 3 seconds, this will be disappeared and this will send us. So let's see what we want to show when the splash screen appear only for 3 seconds. So we will do scaffold and the background color of our primary color that we have set in our style.dart inside the theme directory, this primary color, which is also specified in our main.dart here. And in the splash screen, we set the background color to our primary color, and in the center, what we have done to simply display from the assets our app logo that we have here, this food prime logo. That's it. So now instead of calling directly the main screen in here, let's call the splash screen inside, and as a child pass the main screen. And yes, in the splash screen we are not going to call it directly main screen, but we can do the widget.child. But the main screen was also a good practice if you don't want to make it more dynamic, because splash screen can be used with any widget that we want to navigate to after 3 seconds of the splash screen. So if we directly pass the main page in here, so in the future we will not be allowed to directly change the child of the splash screen, but we have to come to the splash screen and then change the main screen that we have hard coded in here. So if you want to make it more dynamic, so you have to pass the child and specify the child wherever you want, and you have to specify the child where you are calling the splash screen. So whenever the splash screen is called, this will show up the primary background color with a logo of the food prime in the center, and after 3 seconds this will navigate us to the main screen. So let's see the result of the application by hot restarting the application, and we got this food prime splash screen, and after 3 seconds this navigate us to the main screen. So that was the functionality for the main screen. Now we have to create onboarding screens, because after splash screen has been displayed, we want to see the onboarding, and then we will go for the credential pages. So let's go and create the onboarding screens. So inside the screens, we will create one new directory. We will name it onboarding, and then inside we will create the onboarding screen. But there will also be one more file, will be onboarding entity. Inside onboarding entity, we will create a class, and there will be a list of onboarding entity. So we will directly put the data in the class objects, and then we will take the instance of the list in our onboarding screen and directly show the data on the specific index in the onboarding screen in the page view builder. So this is going to make everything clean, as you have watched in the week 1 when we were creating the onboarding screens. So inside the onboarding entity, we will create a class and call it onboarding entity. Inside this, we're going to have 3 fields inside the class: the image, title, and the description. As we have here in the onboarding, we have the image, title, and the description, and also pass them in the constructor. Next here, we are going to have a static list of onboarding entity named onboarding data. This is a list of onboarding entity, and we have 3 pages for onboarding. So we just pass the image, title and description in here for the screens of the onboarding. So we will directly retrieve this list of onboarding entities in the page view on that specific index. So this is our onboarding entity with the data of our pages. Now let's go and create our onboarding screen. So our onboarding screen is going to be a stateful widget, and let's call it onboarding screen. Then we are going to have a scaffold and a body, and on the body we are going to have a page view builder, which is going to return a column. And then first of all, to show this Food Prime logo in all of the screens, we are going to have this image from the assets Word app logo. And then we are going to have some size box of 130 and the image asset from the onboarding data on specific index image, but we have not yet accessed this, so let's also do this. But before this, let's make this size box constant. Making the UI widget constant means the Flutter will not rebuild this every time when the application hot reloads, which in results improve the performance of the application. So let's access the onboarding data from the onboarding entity. In our stat class, we will do list of onboarding entity onboarding data and directly access the onboarding data, as we have made the onboarding data static, so we don't have to access it like to create the instance and then access it. But using static keyword, you can directly access the methods and the fields inside from the class directly. Now let's import the onboarding entity, and there we go. We got the onboarding entity on index the specific image, but this is going to cause the range error. That is because we have not yet specified the item count. So this will access the data from the index and will cause the exception out of bound or range error in Flutter. So we will pass the onboarding entity data, which is a list and length. So we got the specific 3 items, and now this will access the item on that specific index from only 3 items. So this is not going to cause the range error. Next, let's put the 40 size box, the vertical space and the text of title with the alignment center and the font size 22 and the font weight bold. And then the size box of 20 and the text for the description as we have required. We got this image on the specific index that we have specified in the onboarding entity, and we have got this title on the specific index that are also specified in the onboarding entity, and also this description. Next, we need these 3 circles, which is selected. Its color will be the primary color of our Food Prime app. So let's also build this. But before building this, let's see the result of this. Let's go and call the onboarding screen instead of the main screen after the splash screen has been displayed. Also import this onboarding screen, and let's go for hot restarting the app. So after the splash screen is displayed, after 3 seconds we will see the results something like this, where you can see we got our image, title and description, but this Food Prime is stuck to the top. So to move it a little bit down, we have to go to our splash screen, not splash screen but the onboarding screen, and let's wrap this column with a container, and let's give it some margin. Agent sets dot symmetric vertical, let's say 80, and that's good. Let's make this also constant because this is not going to be changed. Next, we need the bottom circles in here, which color will be primary color of our Food Prime app when their specific page is currently displayed. Like when the current page is displayed, only their circle will get that primary color. So we can swipe between the pages like that, but we don't have currently the circles to see in which page we are currently on. So to create that, we have to do, after this text, we will put the size box of 30 and create a row, because we are going to have 3 circles will be aligned horizontally and their main axis alignment will be center, and inside the children we are going to have 3 same sized containers width and height 10. And in the box decoration, in the color we are just checking condition when the index was equal to 0, means that we are currently on the first page, this one which is currently displayed. Then this circle is going to get the color of primary color, otherwise it will be gray. And the same for the second container, when the currently displayed page was this page, so the circle which is in the middle will get that primary color, and the same for the last one. Now let's hot reload the app, and you can see the currently displayed page. The currently displayed page is the second page, and we got this one, this condition true, and this middle circle got the primary color. And when you go to this last circle got the primary color, and the same for the first one, second and third, like that. But now we want also when the current index was equal to 2. We also want a button in here, so that we will click this, which will navigate us to our credential or authentication page. So to create that, here we have to do, after this row, right after this row, put the comma in here. Right after this row we will do the size box of 30, vertical space 30, and we check the condition if the index was equal to 2. So put the padding from horizontal 15, and a button container widget which title is get started, icon has icon is true, and we pass the forward icon. And when this is tapped, this will navigate us to login screen, which we currently don't have one, so we are also going to create this and also this button container widget. The reason we are going to create the button container widget separate is because we don't want to repeat ourselves, and we are correctly following the drive principle. Do not repeat yourself. As I said, the widgets are reusable components. So separate them and reuse them to improve the performance of the app, so that you don't have to write the same code everywhere throughout your application, but you just have to reuse that component or widget that you have created. So let's import this button container widget, and let's go to this button container widget, which is a simple stateless widget with the width and height accepting a title and the on tap field and a boolean of has icon and the icon. Some of fields are null and the title is required, because this button container widget must have one title. And if it has, so while calling this button container widget, you have to set this as icon to true and pass your icon in here. So the default width of the button is infinity, means it will cover all the space horizontally, and its height is by default 40, and the title and all of that are passed directly. And the has icon is also by default false, which means that the icon will not be in the button container widget by default. And this button container widget returns in the build method a simple gesture detector for the on tap, and this is a simple container which accepts the dynamic width and height that you will pass while calling it. And if you don't pass, this will take this default width and height, which is double infinity for width and 40 for height. And in the box decoration, its color will always be primary color of our food prime app. And in the child of this container, here it is checking the condition if the has icons was true, so it means we have to put the row and in the title and the icon next to the title, only in case if the has icon was true. Otherwise, if it was false, so we will simply display a simple text without any icon. So that is what this button container widget is doing, a reusable component, so that everywhere in our app we need a button container widget, same like the one we are going to create right now. We will simply use this button container widget and prevent ourselves of writing the same code again and again, like this code. So we don't have to write this code everywhere, but just use this button container widget, pass the fields, and there you go, you got your button. Then go to the onboarding page, and here you have to create a login page. So to create a login page, let's go for creating a new directory called Auth. Inside the Auth, let's create, for now, let's say login page, a dot file, let's say make it stateless, login page, and import the material dart, and let's go for scaffold for now, body body, not body but body. In the center, let's say child text, and let's call it for now login page, and we are going to design it later, but just for navigating to it we have to create it like this. And let's import this. Here it is login screen, so let's make it login page, it doesn't matter. So let's import this, and then let's go for how to start the application to see the whole process from scratch. We have the splash screen. This will navigate us to the onboarding. We can swipe between the onboarding, and you can see we got the get started button in here. So when it is clicked, this will navigate us to the login page as expected. So this time is to go and create or design the login and the register page, or you can also say the sign in and sign up page. So let's create one more page here, and let's call it sign up page, or it doesn't matter you call it pages or screens. These are all the widgets, and it doesn't matter you call it screens or page, whatever, their meaning is same, a page or a screen. So to design the login page, we will convert the stateless widget to a stateful widget, and let's see how our login page looks like. So that is how our login page looks like. We have the login text, 2 fields, a checkbox of remember me, a forget password text, login, and this or, and these 2 dividers, and in the middle we have the or text and the different options for Google, Facebook and LinkedIn, and at the bottom we have don't have an account, create account. So this is going to be inside a column. So let's remove the center from here and put column children, and let's wrap this column with a container and give it some margin. It will be agent sets dot symmetric horizontal 20 and vertical 40. And to overcome these errors, you have to remove the cons from here and put the cons only for this, and also not make this column constant because this can be rebuilt. So we have to make its children such as size books and other text style, but we can't directly make this column const because this will cause the error as we had just now when we have make our scaffold constant. So which means the scaffold can be rebuilt. So we cannot make it const for the scaffold. So let's remove this. So inside the column, first of all, we are going to have a text of login with this font size of 20 and font weight bold. Let's Ctrl S to hot reload, and we got the login in here. To move it down, we have to put the size box of 140 from top. After this will move down to here. And next, after the login, we have to put size box, a form container widget with the hint text of email or username, and one more size box with the height of 20, and one more form container widget with the password hint text. So again, this form container will also going to be a reusable component widget so that we can use it anywhere throughout our application, and we don't have to write its code again and again everywhere in our application. So let's import this form container widget. And if you go to the form container widget implementation, this is again a stateless widget which accepts the hint text and a controller to access the text and other field and other things from the field. And let's make it constant. And here we have a simple container with the horizontal padding 10, width of infinity, height 50, and decoration we have the light gray color, and its border radius is 5, and it is returning in the child a simple text field. Controller is the controller we will pass when the form container widget is called, and in the decoration the hint text will be the hint text we pass, and the border is none. And that's it. That is our form container widget. In the login page, this time if we Ctrl S to hot reload, we got these 2 fields in here. But unfortunately, the login is moved to the center. That is because if we have more than one widget in the column cross-axis alignment is set to center by default. So we have to put the cross-axis alignment to start, and it will be fixed on this. Next, after this, we have to create what we have, the remember me checkbox and also the forget text. So we have this row which main axis alignment is space between, and inside this we have one more row, and that row first have a checkbox which on change set the remember me check value to the value that is the value on changed, and that is the current value of the checkbox, either checked or unchecked. And this is the remember me text. Let's make it constant, and this is the password which will be displayed at the rightmost, as we have put the space between, which means that this will align two children's. One will be at the leftmost and one will be at the rightmost. But if you put one more children in the row, the children that is in the center will be in the center, and the two children of this parent row will be one at the leftmost, one at the rightmost. So let's create this remember me check value in here. It will be a boolean, by default false. That's it. Now hot reload, and we got this remember me and forgot password. We can check and uncheck this, and you can see when we check the remember me, we have not set its color to our primary color, but it gets that color. That is because when you set the primary switch in your theme data to any color, any widget that has its default color like the elevator button and the app bar gets that color. So in the login page we got our checkbox in here, and you can see the warnings are gone from the whole column. That is because we got something changeable, which changed on the set stat when we had not this row in here. So the column was recommended to why not make it constant, because nothing is changeable. But once we got this row which is doing something with the stat, we change the stat of the stateful widget, so you can see that requirement of the const on directly on the column is gone, and now it is saying just make these fields constant. That is because that are for now not changeable, that don't have any controllers to deal with, so it's better to make them constant for now in order to improve the performance of the application. So that we got the remember me and the forgot password. Next thing we need is that the login button, and yes, we have the button container widget, so we don't have to write the code again, but we have to use that reusable component or reusable widget and complete our job with this. So we can do something like this: size box of 520, a button container widget with the title, and on tap directly send to the premium screen. So we don't have premium screen yet. Let's create it in the directory of premium, and inside this let's create the premium screen, or you can also call it page. It doesn't matter because both are similar. Let's create it. It will be for now a status widget, premium screen, and let's import the material dot and go for the scaffold and body, and let's say in the center child some text of displaying premium screen, and yes, let's make it constant just for now. And now in our login page we can press the F2 to track the error, and let's go for importing this premium screen. Let's make it constant also. So that we got this button, Ctrl S to hot reload, and we got the same button in here, and this time we have not set the has icon to true, so you can see we don't have any icon. But in case if we set the has icon to true and pass the icon, so we will get the icon that we had in the get started button while navigating from the onboarding page to the login or the credential pages. So after this we need these dividers and the OR text and these three options for logging in with them. And also these don't have an account, go to the create account page, or let's also the sign up page. So after this we will do create a row with the two expanded containers, and in the middle put a little bit or with the padding of horizontal 10, so that we got the two containers expanded like a dividers on the both sides of this OR, and when you Ctrl S to hot reload we got this OR like that. Next we need the button options, so for that we will do We will create again the size box of height 20 and again a row. And we have 3 containers with the width and height of 40, box decoration with their specified red, blue, dark blue and the blue light blue colors, and simple in the center their specified icons of Google, Facebook and LinkedIn. So let's import the Font Awesome icons and to use the icons of Font Awesome. Let's also make them constant because they are not going to be changed. They are constant icons. But here you can also see we are doing the repetition of code. We are creating this same container 3 times by specifying the same things. So to overcome this, we can work around like this, copy this container and create a method in here. Let's say option sign-in. This is a simple method and this is going to return a widget. Its return type will be widget. So this is going to return the same container and this is going to accept will be required icon data icon, and one more thing will be required, that is a simple color. Its name will be color. So the icon data will be passed in the icon of this and the color will be passed in here. And to overcome this error, we will remove the const from here. This time we will go and call the option sign in, but let's see first the result of this and then we will use this option sign in. Ctrl S to hot reload, we got these 3 buttons. To get the same result with doing less, we will call this option sign in and let's simply pass the color of same red color and the icon data of this Font Awesome icons Google. That's it. Now we can remove this large container with all of the data. Now we can duplicate this 2 times and set the color of the second one and the color of the final one. Let's put the assertive operator to not make it null and also pass their icons from the Font Awesome icons like this, and finally for the LinkedIn like this. Now you can remove these 2 containers which are useless for now. So you can see we have reduced a lot of code in here. We are just using this one sign-in option and we are doing it in our UI like this. And yes, you can create a separate widget for this and you can use it like this, which is consequently improve more performance of the app to creating reusable components and use them like that. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, everything remains the same and nothing is changed. Next thing we have to do is to create the don't have an account, create account in here. So to create that, we have to do, after this row, we are going to have one more row, don't have an account with some text style and also create account. Let's make them constant. And here is also navigator push to the sign up page, but we don't have one. There is no worry. We can create it with for now a stateless widget, sign up page, and let's go for import. And this is for now going to have the same scaffold body and center child text of, let's say, sign up page, and let's make it constant and we can import it right here from now. So that's it. Now we can hot reload and we got the don't have an account in here, but we want this to be at the bottom. To make it in the bottom, we have to cut this from here and let's go at the top and wrap this column with one more column and make this column with expanded, and after this expanded, put this row in here, and when you Ctrl S to hot reload, this area take the full space and it moved to the bottom directly. Now our login page is also created. This time we can go forward and create the create account page or sign up page. So let's go for the sign up page, and here what we have to do, first let's see how it's look like. So that is how our sign up page looks like. We have 4 fields and the same text and the same checkbox with some text, again the same button and the same thing. Already have an account, go for login. So here we have to do, first of all, remove this center from here, also the cons from the scaffold, because the full scaffold is not going to be constant. Let's make it a container with the margin agent sets dot symmetric. The same will be horizontal 20, vertically 40, and will be constant. And for the child, there will be a column children, and again inside the column we are going to have again put the size box of height 140, and let's make it constant. And next thing here, after the size box, we are going to have is the fields. So we got the same text as we had in the login page. This time its tag is sign up, and we have the size box, and let's import the from container widget and passing the name, username, email, password and phone number and all of that stuff. Let's copy this const and put it for this text style, for this, and also for this one for the size box, and the same for all of the others. So this time when you Ctrl S to hot reload, you got the sign up and the 4 fields, and you can go for cross axis alignment to start to make this sign up and start. So next thing you have to do after the fields has been created, again we need the checkbox. So for that we again have a row of cross axis alignment at the end, and in the row children we have first a scaffold. In the stat we have an error, that is because we have the stateless widget converted to stateful, and make this text constant for now. And we have this checkbox, and then we have the expanded rich text. The rich text and its max line is 2, and here we are giving colors to the different parts of the text. So we use the rich text in here and put the different text spawns in the list of children of the text spawn. So you can see for the first text spawn we have the by sign up you accept the, and then the its text style of black, and for this one we have its color primary color, and for this one let's make it constant and the error will be gone. And we have the second one text span which color is again black, and for the final text span we have the privacy policy with the color of primary color. That's it. Now let's go and create the remember me check value in the stat class. It will be boolean, by default will be false, like that. Now Ctrl S to hot reload, and we got this same working. Next thing we need is a button container widget to navigate us forward to the next screens. So we got the vertical spacing with the size box height and the button container widget, and the size box also down the button container widget. This is navigating us to the premium screen. Let's import this and Ctrl S to hot reload. We got the sign up button. This will navigate us to the premium screen like that, and come back. Oh, this closed the full application. This is because we are navigating to the premium screen using the push and remove until, so it do not make the pages in the stack. So there were no pages in the stack, it directly closed the app. So let's open this up again and how to start the app to have our new build. So our splash screen, onboarding screens, and the login screen and the create account screen, and now only one thing is remaining and we are done with our credential pages also. So next thing we need is already have an account login. So we know that what we have to do. We have to wrap our column with one more column, and we have to make this children column with a widget expanded, and at the bottom after this expanded widget we have to do with the children of text don't have an account and a just detector text with login. This will send us to a login page and a size box with constant height. But there is an error, that is because we don't have to make this column expanded but the children one expanded. And then close this one and move this size box and row to this column children, right after this. Open this up, and here we have the login screen error. Let's import this. Let's make it login page instead of the screen. And now let's put the constant modifiers in here. That's it. Ctrl S to hot reload. We got the already have an account login at the bottom of the screen, and we are done with our create initial pages. We can go to the login page, come to this, and from here we can go to the premium screen. So it's time to design also the premium screen. So our premium screens looks something like this. We have the logo and the text. We have these plans, a divider with the button container widget and some text button for skip and go to the other page like home. We have the home page. Yes, we have the home page after that. So let's design the premium screen also. First of all, in the premium screen, what you have to do is remove the center from here first. There will be a scaffold. We already have one scaffold, so let's remove it, and we're gonna have a container again. And margin agent sets of symmetric, horizontal 40 and horizontal not 40 but 20 and vertical 40, the same. And make it constant. We can go for child, column, children, and the column cross axis alignment will be in the start. So in the children of the column, first of all we need a logo of our app. So we got size box from top and bottom 30, and we got the image asset word app logo, and we got the Food Prime logo in here after hot reloading the app. Next we need is here this long text and these options after this. So we got this text with the font size 28 and font weight bold. There we go, we got this text, and then we need the options. And we have done the same thing with the single premium item widget, and here we are going to create a method for them. Between each single premium item widget there is 20 vertical spacing between them. The first one is save an average of 4 to 5 per order and all of that options. So the single premium item widget will be really simple, just like that. It is accepting the icon widget and the title. This is a simple row, and which accept the icon, the icon size, and the title, and that's it. Now this time when we Ctrl S to hot reload, there is an error also. Let's F2 to track this. Okay, we also have to import this primary color from the theme styles.dart, and there we go. Ctrl S to hot reload. We got these 4 options also. Next thing we need in here is a divider in the form of container. Its height is 1, double infinity, its color is gray, means that we got a container, size box vertically 30, and a button container widget. Try Food Prime free for 1 month, and the size box again 30. We got this, and then we need one more thing, that is the skip button, and also this by tapping the button I agree to the team's an automatic monthly charge of $9.99 until I cancel an account prior to any renewal to avoid charges. And then after this skip button we need this text, some information saying about this premium version of the Food Prime app. So we will do a gesture detector with some text, skip, and its font size is 16, its color is black, font weight bold. It is navigating us to the main screen finally. And also let's make this main screen constant, and that's it. We got that skip button in here. To make it in the center, we will wrap this gesture detector with the center widget, and we got the skip button in here. And this here finally we need that text, the information about the premium version of the Food Prime app. So this will again be a rich text of different text fonts with the different colors. This time Ctrl S to hot reload. We got this text in here. You can see the text font with the text this with this color, and in the children of this text font we have more text fonts like the themes. Its color is primary color, and same like that. So our premium page is successfully created also, and now when we hot restart the app, we got the splash screen, the onboarding screens, the credential pages, and also we got the premium, and this time we are finally navigated to the main screen, and we will start work on it in the part 2 of this Food Prime app. So that's it for the part 1 of building the UI of a food delivery app. And yeah, that's it. I will see you in the part 2 of Food Prime app, building the further screens for our food delivery app, or also we can say Food Prime app.